Hi everyone, today we're going to begin Unit 2. We're going to start off our day 1 with functions versus relations. So let's start with some review vocabulary. The coordinate plane, or as some people call it the Cartesian plane, is a two-dimensional plane that's formed by the intersection of a horizontal number line and a vertical number line. Those number lines are called the x-axis and the y-axis. The x-axis is our horizontal number line, and the y-axis is our vertical number line. The origin is where the x and y axes cross. Alright, as a try on your own, I want you to come down here, and using these words here, I want you to label this entire coordinate plane. Go ahead and pause the video now. Alright, let's go on to the next page. Alright, we're going to use this following graph to answer the questions below. So example 1 wants us to write the coordinates of each point that is marked on the graph below. So if we remember, coordinates are always written out as our x and then our y values. So every ordered pair first lists the x value, so the value off the x-axis, and then our y value, the value off of our y-axis. So if we want to go to point A, that's this point right here, the value that we'd pull from the x-axis would be -4. The value we'd pull from the y-axis, since it lines up with right here at the middle, would be 0. So the ordered pair for that point would be -4, 0. Here's point B. So the x value that we'd pull, the value that lines up with this x-axis, would be -2. The y value then is the value that lines up with the y-axis. So in this case, 2, a +2. So the ordered pair then would be -2, 2. Ordered pairs should always be written inside parentheses. So now I want you to try on your own. Write the coordinates of each of the points that is marked on the graph below. Go ahead and pause the video now. Alright, let's take a look at our next example. We're going to mark the following points on the graph. So this time we have to graph this ordered pair right here. So we're going to go to the x-axis at number 2, and then our y-axis is our vertical. So this tells us then that we're going to go down 3. I like to sometimes draw in little arrows because I find that to be useful. So I'm going to do that. So if the first number is my x-axis, my horizontal move, it's positive, so that means I'm going to go to the right. Let me do this again. So I'm going to go to the right because it's positive. And then this one here is negative. My vertical move is negative, which tells me then I need to go down. So in order to graph this, I need to go right 2, down 3. And then I can put my point. So I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to go right 2, and then down 3. And right there is where my point F should be. I'm going to put the dot, and then since they've already labeled the ordered pair with a letter, I'm going to label my point with a letter so it matches up. Alright, the next one that they want us to do is -4, 4. So I'm going to come over here. So -4 on the horizontal means I'm going to go to the left. A +4 for the vertical move tells me I'm going to go up. So I'm going to start at the origin, and I'm going to go left 4, up 4. So I go to my origin, and I'm going to go left 4 and then up 4. And then that is where point G should go. So I started at the origin, I went left 4 and then up 4. Right, and then the last one that we're going to do together, if my horizontal point or move is 0, that means I can't move left or right. So the only move that I can make is my vertical move. And since it's positive, that tells me I have to go up. So in this case, I'm going to go up 2. And that's my only move. So I'm going to go up to, put my point, and label that as point H. All right, I want you to go ahead and do the next three. Go ahead and pause the video now. All right, let's come on back and let's take a look at what this lesson really is supposed to be about. Relations versus functions. So a relation is any set of ordered pairs. Any set that we put together of ordered pairs is considered to be a relation. A function, on the other hand, is a special type of relation where each x value can be paired with only one y value. So something that we really have to work on remembering is in a function, our x values cannot repeat. X values cannot repeat. That's big. All right, let's go to the next page. And we're going to take a look at this set of ordered pairs. And we're going to try and figure out, is it a function? And then why or why not? So remember, our key thing on the previous page was x values cannot repeat. So all I'm going to look at are my x values. So I have an x value of 2, an x value of 3, and an x value of 5. All my x values are different, so because of that, we can say yes, this is a function because all x values are different. Or we can say the x values don't repeat, however you want to word it. All right, I want you to come down. I want you to try this next one on your own. Go ahead and pause the video now. Okay, let's take a look at another example. This time we're going to look at a table. In a table, I should say in a horizontal table, the top row is always your x values, the bottom row is always your y values. If the table were vertical, so up and down, then the left column would always be your x values and the right column would always be your y values. All right, so again, determining if something is a function or not a function, the first thing we have to look at is just our x values. It's the only thing we really care about when we're trying to determine if it's a function. So my x values are 3, 4, 6, and -4. All right, so once again, all my x values are different, so we can say that yes, this is a function. All right, I want you to come down and I want you to try this next one here on your own. Go ahead and pause the video now. All right, let's take a look at this next example. This example here is called a mapping. The first group is always your x values, or what we call our input. The second group is always our y values, or our output. And we call this a mapping because we take this each x value and we're mapping it to the y values. So we can say that 5 maps to 1, 6 maps to 0, and 2, 7 maps to 3. All right, so if we want to determine if this is an x or if this is a function or not, we have to look at these values here. And remember we said that x values can't repeat, or the definition was each x value is paired with only one y value. So when I look at each of these x values, 5 is paired with just the 1. When I look at 6, 6 is paired with 0 and with 2. And when I look at 7, 7 is paired with the 3. Well, let's go back and take a look at that 6 again. 6 is paired with 2 values, the 0 and the 2. So because of that, this is not a function. This x value here is paired with 2 different y values. Okay? The x value 6 is mapped to 2 different y values, or you could say is paired with 2 different y values. All right, I want you to take a look at this mapping, and I want you to try and figure out on your own if this is a function, and then explain why or why not. Go ahead and pause the video now. Okay, let's go to the next page. All right, so now we're going to use this set of ordered pairs, and we're going to create a table. A table is just another way to display our data from our ordered pairs. Okay. So remember, every ordered pair has an x value and a y value. So when we have this ordered pair 2, 3, I can put that into my table. 2 and then 3. I can take this ordered pair 0, 1, and I can line them up together in the table. This ordered pair 3, 5, put it like that, and then this ordered pair -2, 8. All right, what's another ordered pair that we could add to this? So now we're kind of taking this a little step further to make this remain a function. So remember again, a function means that all my x values have to be different. So I can pick any x value I want as long as it's not 0, 2, 0, 3, or -2. Any x value I want. I just happen to pick 1. Okay? Doesn't matter, okay, as long as it's not any one of these 4 that were already given. As far as the y values go, it doesn't matter if my y value here matches any of those. And it doesn't even matter if my x value matches one of those y values. All that matters is that my x value here is different from the x values up here. All right, now what's another ordered pair we could add to make the above not remain a function? So now I want to add an ordered pair to this so it's no longer a function. This means that I have to make it so that I repeat one of these x values. So I have to have an ordered pair that has either a 2, a 0, a 3, or a -2. So I happen to pick 2. And then I just picked a random y value, 4. Okay? Doesn't matter what y value I pick, I just need to pick as long as my x value repeats one of the ones up here. All right, I want you to go ahead and try on your own with this one. Take your ordered pairs, place them into the table, and then answer these 2 questions below. Go ahead and pause the video now. All right, let's move on. All right, next page and our last page. Now we're going to take a look at graphs and see how we can determine if a graph is a function or not. When we're dealing with graphs, we use something called a vertical line test. Vertical line test says that if a vertical line touches a graph 2 or more times, then the graph is not a function. Well, why is that? If you think about where 2 points fall vertically, we're going to find that they have the same x values. 2 points that are vertical from each other will have the same x values. And remember, the definition of a function means that the x values cannot repeat. So if a vertical line hits our graph 2 or more times, it means means an x value repeats itself 2 or more times. It's not a function. All right, so I drew in a vertical line here somewhere. There it is. So I'm going to take this vertical line that I've drawn in, and I'm going to kind of follow the path of this just to see how many times my vertical line touches it. So at any given point, my vertical line only ever touches that graphed line once. There's not a single point where my vertical line ever touches that graph line 2 or more times. Okay? Doesn't matter where we are, at any point I only ever touch the graphed line once. So we say that this one is a function. I'm going to say yes, it passes the vertical line test. Now let's do the same thing over here. So here I have a vertical line, and in this case, no matter where I put my vertical line, I'm always touching that graphed line twice. Okay? So it doesn't really matter where I'm looking. Okay? I'm just going to put it here, just for example. So we're looking at the circle here, and I'm touching the circle right here at an ordered pair of 0, 4. And then I'm touching here at an ordered pair of 0, -4. Well, you'll notice that they both have an x value of 0. It's not a function. So this one we're going to say no, because it fails the vertical line test. All right. Now I want you to come down here, and this is the last try on your own. All right. So please make sure before you come to class that all of the try on your owns are completed. If you do not complete the try on your owns, you will only receive half credit for the notes, and you will not be able to make that part up since I give you the answers in class. This is the end of the video. I will see you in class next time.